guys, this is Dark Soul from sealedvideogames.net, and it's my third video where I would like to talk and tell you about some pieces and bits from my collection of video games. You know what, I've seen a lot of video game collections on YouTube, and somehow it's a bit of boring for me, you know. The guy sitting behind the shelves, which is packed by games, and everyone doing the same, so showing their games on, and from the countless shelves of games, and sometimes people showing things like, you know, an Earthbound for Super Nintendo, and people say it's like, wow, it's the rare video game, I spent $200 for it, or something, some weird stuff like, I don't know, Dragon Warrior 4 maybe, and people say it's kind of a rare game or something. And well, I have nothing against it, but I'm doing different things. That's why I think that my collection is very unique comparing to the others you see on the internet. So let's start from a game series that I enjoyed since the 90s. It's actually one of these games that brought me into PC world. I bought my first PC in around 1996, and the first game released in the series was released in 1998. It was a game very unique for its time. It was a role-playing game, and it's been developed by a very small company at the time, which only had one game back then, Shattered Steel, and it was a very crappy game company called BioWare. I think you might have heard of something about this game. I know it's this company is doing some crappy games like Mass Effect or Dragon Age now, and Neverwinter Nights they did in the past. So back in the 90s they did the game called Baldur's Gate. Yes, and it's the game that kept me occupied for months and months, and I played it to death. And I've had a very old crappy computer back then, and the game was kind of too powerful for me, and I have only 16 megabytes of RAM, and the game was horribly laggy, and sometimes the picture just froze, and I had to do a reset with a button, because the screen didn't move or anything. I only heard the sword swinging and people killing each other, but the screen was just frozen. My PC didn't have enough power to process the whole thing, so it was extremely hard to play for me, and but I enjoyed it anyway. I fought through, and that's why I'll show you some games from my Baldur's Gate collection. As you can see, I am in Baldur's Gate Shadows of M t-shirt as well. I will say a few things for it. I got it from UK, from England. It is said that it's a promotional t-shirt for the release of Baldur's Gate Shadows of M. I don't know if it's true or not, if it's promotional item or not, but I saw it twice on eBay, and it was second time it was the same t-shirt, so I believe it's true. It has a Baldur's Gate logo here, and on the back it has a huge Shadows of M logo as well. I hope you see it now. I don't know. Well, let's start with the games. The first game which I have, it's the very original Baldur's Gate. It's the big box edition, it's American edition. It opens like a book. It's in mint condition. It's very hard to find actually. There are a lot of copies of Baldur's Gate on eBay. Some are new, some are not new, but it's a very fragile PC box. It's quite heavy, it's quite rigid, but it's very fragile. So to find a good copy is quite a pain in the ass. So it's the very original edition. It's sealed with the two stickers, one on top and one on bottom, as you can see. It's made by BioWare, released by Interplay in 1998. It's made for Windows 95 and 98. Second game I have in Baldur's Gate collection is also Baldur's Gate, but I think it's a later edition. The box is a little smaller than the book-like one. It's a little smaller. As you can see, it's quite thin as well. It looks a lot like the original one, but it's made from a very thin paper. It's very flimsy, it's shrink wrapped. I don't see the sticker seals on it, so I think it's just shrink wrapped. That's strange, because I got it from USA as well, but the only difference that I could find is that it has design for Windows NT, Windows 98 and Windows 95 compatible, so maybe it's some kind of a weird Windows NT version compatible. I don't know, it's very weird edition. Okay, now here is the very first add-on for original Baldur's Gate. It's called Tales of Sword Coast. It's also shrink wrapped, doesn't have sticky seals on it. This one is in mint condition. It's a great add-on which I played. It adds a huge dungeon to it, and it took me several days to complete it. It's very deep, and it adds great variety to the original game. It's a great add-on. This add-on is quite easy to find actually, it's quite common. It was the only original add-on released to the first Baldur's Gate. Now we move on to the cool stuff. Here is what I believe is the rarest game, maybe one of the rarest games in my PC collection. It's the Baldur's Gate 2 Shadows of M Collector's Edition. But what is different from the original Baldur's Gate Shadows of M is that this game had two Collector's Edition released in the same kind of box. This one is the rarer Collector's Edition because it's the Asian version, released for some Asian countries. Actually, I don't remember which of them, but the difference is the USA Collector's Edition was numbered, and it had 62,000 copies produced, while the Asian Collector's Editions had 7,000 copies produced. My copy is 5,902 out of 7,000. So just think about it. In USA the Collector's Edition had 62,000 and in Asia it was 7,000, so it's just 10 times more rarer than you can possibly find it. That's, I think, is the only sealed edition of Asian Shadows of M Collector's Edition that I've seen on eBay. I bought it like 5 or 6 years ago. It was very rare, it's still rare. I don't know how much it costs now, maybe $600 or $1,000 already, I don't know. This is the game that I will never sell, no matter what. But what is more funny is that in Europe there was completely different Baldur's Gate Shadows of M Collector's Edition, which is also somehow called Limited Edition. As you can see, it's a very strange quadrangular box. Comparing to the US one, it's very strange. You know, European editions were always being released in a weird, rigid hardcover boxes, and this one is the same. It's basically the same contents. It has the game, the poster, the collector postcards, the trading cards, the soundtrack CD, and different in-game bonus content. But this one is very different because it has the Baldur's Gate Shadows of M exclusive classic style t-shirt, and it's black. As you can see, it's in black color with the gold Baldur's Gate logos. It's not like this one, so it's different and it's unique. It's a unique European edition. This one is also sealed. You guys have no idea how rare is it. In fact, that's the only one I've ever seen sealed on eBay. And I would have never bought it if not the friend who sent me a PM on a forum and said that, look here, you are collecting Baldur's Gate, and I've just noticed that there is a collector's edition on eBay. And I said, like, what the fuck, man? I'm all over it, I'm gonna buy it. And it was a UK only auction. I could not bid because I'm from Russia and the bids were blocked, so I had to ask my friend Miles from United Kingdom, which won it for me, and it's such a big thanks to Miles. I'm in great debt since then. Thank you, Miles. Now that I got this game, thanks to you. Thank you. Now to the add-on. Baldur's Gate Shadows of M also had one add-on. It was called Throne of Baal. It's a great add-on that adds a lot of variety to the game, and it raises the experience level. It adds level 5 and I believe level 6 weapons. It's very hard. In the end, I think I haven't even completed it because the last dungeon was so hard, and I just gave up because there were dragons and the monsters who just killed you all the time and you couldn't do anything. It was very monotonous, and it was very hard to proceed through the last levels, so I kinda gave up. Even the hardcore gamers such as me gave up on this add-on. This is the American edition of Throne of Baal. It's sealed. It's not very expensive, it's quite common. It's one of the latest releases, and even though it's a big box, it's quite easy to find, so not so many special things about this. And one of the last games from my PC collection, it's actually the last, it's Baldur's Gate Original Saga. It's also the big box edition. It's a very nice box. It took me a few years to find a good copy. Actually, it's not easy at all, even though I believe it was produced in great numbers. It was very hard to find in mint condition. I had to buy this from Canada actually. This is what's unique about this is that it's a DVD. It's not 6 CD like the original Baldur's Gate. It's been packed onto DVD and re-released. It also includes Tale of the Sword Coast expansion pack. Also, it has the original soundtrack, which is awesome. The limited edition lithograph, full color two-sided poster, like in the collection, like in collector's edition as well. I'm glad to have it. I wanted this for a long time. This completes my PC collection of Baldur's Gate, and I'm extremely pleased with it. As I also collect PlayStation 2 games, I had to get the Baldur's Gate Dark Aliens for the PlayStation 2, which is of course also sealed. It was not very expensive, but it took me some time to search for it to get it for a nice price. I think I got it for $35, so it's a great deal. It's also mint. It's very different from the PC games. It's more like Diablo hack and slash game, but I heard from the reviews that it's quite awesome game as well. And that's the second Baldur's Gate 2 Dark Aliens. It's much more expensive and considered to be a rarer one from the two. It's also same hack and slash game. It's very nice, very expensive for the PlayStation 2 library. Quite rare, not so easy to find, but it's common compared to some other games which are much more rare, I believe, than this one. That's a nice hack and slash game too. So I don't plan to get the Game Boy Advance games. I know there is also Baldur's Gate for Game Boy Advance, but I don't have Advance anymore, and nor I want to play these games for Game Boy Advance, so I'm not gonna get the Advance version. So that's, I guess, all Baldur's Gate games I need or I have. I may eventually get the general, a more common American collector's edition of Shadows of M, which, as I already told you, has 62,000 copies released. I'm not in a hurry though, because I already have the more rare Asian version of it. But and also there is a weird double pack of Baldur's Gate games, where the first one and the add-on Tale of Sword Coast are packed in one pack and sold like that. It's a very weird one. It's actually same two games, but they have some kind of lenticular cover on it, which they sell as a pack. I may eventually get this one too, just to check what's the difference, because I'm curious. I don't have it. But for now I have all the Baldur's Gate games in my collection. If you haven't even played this game, please go and do it. As a PC fan, you must do it. As a role-playing fan, you must do it two times or 3 times, I guess. You know, when I shoot the video about the games themselves, I kind of forgot that I also have the books and other memorabilia about Baldur's Gate that I forgot to tell you about, so I kinda ended up shooting a second short video about this. I will tell you about the books which I have. First is the original Baldur's Gate official strategy guide. It's a very thick book and it's very well explained, it's very detailed. It has all the quests, all the regions, all the walkthrough, and all of the dialogues. It's an awesome book. If you're a Baldur's Gate fan, be sure to buy it. Second one This is the add-on, official strategies and secrets for the Sword Coast. It's as I already told you, Sword Coast is an add-on for Baldur's Gate. It's a very thick book also, but the font here is bigger, so it's not that huge and horrible as the first one. It's about the Durlax Tower, which is the main feature in the add-on. It's a very complex dungeon with huge traps. It's very hard to pass through, so this guide will help you for sure. Next, we move on to Baldur's Gate 2 Shadows of M. Perfect guide. It's not that huge book, but it's very well detailed. It has all the stuff in here. It has the quests, the places, the maps, all the good stuff. Baldur's Gate Shadows of M Perfect Guide. You know, there were a few awesome things released as well. This is a very nice, very strange book. In fact, it has nothing to do with the game. It's Volo's Guide to Baldur's Gate 2. It's a Forgotten Realms book, if you know what's Forgotten Realms about. It's like the Lord of the Rings, but much more complex stuff. And this book explains the stuff that's going on with Baldur's Gate and the region and the history of it and the places and the characters involved in the game. So if you want to play the game and you want to understand the characters better, you should possibly read this guide before that. It's a very cool book. Next we go to the very unique stuff. It's a promotional comics which was made before the original Baldur's Gate game was released for PC. It's made by BioWare. I don't think that's made by BioWare themselves, maybe by Interplay, but it's very cool stuff. It's very well made, it's very funny, it's drawn awesome. I had a huge laugh reading this, and it's just awesome stuff. I think it was a promotional only, and I had no idea where you could get this one. It also features Fallout, which is a great game which I also love, and it's been featured on the back. So here is a great comic book based on Baldur's Gate. It's really awesome stuff. The image just doesn't do justice to tell you how funny and how cool is this thing. Also, as all Baldur's Gate fans know, there are a few novels released based on the universe of Forgotten Realms and on the Baldur's Gate region. There were 3 books released based on the game. It's Baldur's Gate by Philip Athens. It's Baldur's Gate Shadows of M by Philip Athens as well. And Baldur's Gate Throne of Bale by Drew Karpyshyn. It's very strange books. I tried to read the first one, didn't really like it, but if you're an awkward Baldur's Gate fan, and if you are a fantasy and Forgotten Realms geek, you may enjoy it actually, I think. So that's it. And to show you the last thing that I have, the rarest of the rare. It's actually the Baldur's Gate 2 Shadows of M limited edition lithograph. I got this on eBay about 4 or 5 years ago. It's a very strange piece of art that shows stuff from Baldur's Gate Shadows of M. This one is like I was told, signed by some BioWare staff like programmers and art directors and designers. I cannot understand who are all these people. I can only understand Mark Brockington here. And this is believed to be a very rare limited art cell, which is limited to 200 copies in the world, and my copy is number 15. To say the truth, I've never seen other than this one, so I don't know if it's true or not. On how rare it is, I don't know. So I'm just taking it as it is. Thank you once again, and goodbye.